every dollar you hand over to the government has a destination. Most people see taxes as money vanishing into a black hole, but that couldn't be further from reality. Your tax dollars fund a massive operation that touches nearly every moment of your day. Understanding where it goes reveals how society actually functions. Let's break this down into real numbers. Federal spending tops trillions annually, divided into several major buckets. The largest chunk goes to Social Security and Medicare. These programs keep retirees and elderly citizens from falling into poverty. In 2026, we're talking about nearly 50% of all federal spending. These aren't handouts, they're systems most workers pay into their entire careers, expecting support when they can no longer work. Then there's national defense. Roughly 13% of your taxes fund the military, including salaries for service members, equipment, and global operations. This spending employs millions of people directly and indirectly. Healthcare beyond Medicare takes another significant slice, often around 14%. Medicaid, veterans healthcare, and various public health initiatives provide essential care to vulnerable populations. Without this, millions would have zero access to doctors or hospitals. Education gets a much smaller piece of the federal pie, often around 3%, but states heavily invest here through property and sales taxes. Public schools, community colleges, and university grants all depend on tax revenue to operate. Your neighbor's kid learning to read? That's your tax dollars at work. Here's what most people overlook: infrastructure spending. The roads, bridges, and water systems everyone complains about actually receive a surprisingly low share federally, typically around 1%. Crumbling highways aren't accidents. They're symptoms of budget priorities. Finally, we must mention interest on the national debt. In 2026, we are spending nearly 10% of the entire federal budget just to service the debt we've accumulated. This money funds no roads or schools. It just pays the interest bill. How we allocate these funds reflects what we value. The question isn't just where the money goes, it's whether we're spending it wisely. Some argue we overspend on defense while neglecting infrastructure. Others say social programs consume too much while interest grows. There's no universally correct answer, but the debate shapes future budgets. What about waste? Yes, inefficiency exists. Bureaucracy sometimes burns money on redundant programs, and projects run over budget. But dismissing all taxes as wasteful ignores the reality that most spending delivers tangible results. The firefighter who saves your house or the teacher shaping young minds are doing jobs funded by your contributions. Consider life without adequate tax revenue. Schools lose teachers, police departments can't hire enough officers. Roads develop potholes that damage vehicles. Parks become unsafe. Quality of life deteriorates when funding dries up and everyone suffers. The uncomfortable truth is that taxes represent collective responsibility. You benefit from systems built by previous generations. The highway you use was constructed decades ago. You're not just paying for today, you're investing in tomorrow, so future generations inherit a functioning society. Modern civilization requires coordination at scales no individual or private company can manage alone. When you see that deduction on your paycheck, recognize what it represents. It's the price of living in a society where clean water flows, roads connect cities, and help arrives when disasters strike. Without everyone paying in, none of that exists. The system isn't perfect, and waste will never fully disappear. But dismissing taxes as pointless misses everything they accomplish. The real question isn't whether we should pay taxes. It's whether we're engaged enough to demand accountability from those who decide how our money gets spent. Your contribution keeps the operation running. Next time you glance at your pay stub, remember, you're funding the infrastructure of civilization itself.